This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Each week in this podcast, the topics of today and tomorrow are discussed while we sample some of the finest libations known to man. Join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt.
Check us out. All right.
Hey, brother.
Back to just the two of us.
Yeah, just you and me.
Just you and me.
It's me and you and me.
We're brothers.
Oh,
we're happy.
Going,
no, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there. No, not going to go there.
Yeah.
But we are going to tune out everything else.
Exactly. You're going to jump ahead into that one.
Whatever.
But, yeah, that's all right. I wanted to do some shout-outs because we actually forgot to do that last Sunday.
Shout-out?
Yeah.
I always like a shout-out.
Yeah, well, so the week before last, I went out to a couple breweries, and we talked briefly about them, but...
And no invite.
Well, one was in South Dakota.
I was busy.
Yeah, one was in South Dakota. And,
you went all the way to South Dakota?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just for some beer?
Yeah, just a 16-hour road trip for beer.
It's my kind of road trip.
Yeah, I was up there for work, but here, can you work on this? This is acting up on me. Went out to Firehouse Brewing in Rapid City, South Dakota. It's the oldest brewery there in South Dakota. They do wine there, and they actually get their grapes from the University of Minnesota, and they get juice from Nebraska to make wine, which is kind of cool. Got a bunch of swag from them. They've got these really cool coasters that you can actually mail. They got a little place for a stamp and place to write stuff, which is kind of neat. Just like it sounds, it's in an old firehouse. It's all decorated with gear there. We got a really good tour by the head brew guy there. He gave us a tour of the winery and also the barrel aging and the fermentation process. And actually they do the mash in one building, and then they have to cross an alley, and it goes into the fermentation part on the other building, which is kind of interesting. But gave us some samples of the wine and the beer, and it was all good. Fantastic beer, good food there.
Sounds good.
It was only neat. I had the Semper Fi was the beer that I had. It was quite delicious. And then Friday a week ago, went to Blue Blood Brewing Company out in Lincoln, Nebraska. I had a friend of mine that was playing.
Oh yeah, that's right. You brought back some stickers for me.
Yeah. So they sit on top of the Robber's Cave out there in Lincoln, and
we did do a shout out for them.
Yeah, a little small shout out, but got a really cool tour from Ralph Allen. He is their sales coordinator.
I always like that name, Ralph.
Cool guy. I think that they have this little spot. They have this little tap room just as you enter the cave system. I wonder if we could do the podcast from there. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm all for it. Yeah. Like I said, I think we were talking about having internet and stuff down there, and I can just borrow a 300-foot long Ethernet cord.
They have,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have offices like right across the hallway, so we would be able to just run a cable real quick.
Should be no problem.
Yeah. Also, Friday, as in 2 days ago, Omaha Beer Week started.
Yes,
so
I'm
we
excited.
Are in the middle of Omaha Beer Week.
Even though today technically is National Drink Wine Day.
Right.
Drink a glass of wine day.
Right. Yeah. Well, is it really today?
Yeah, today.
Oh,
well,
nice.
As social media told me. So, I mean, somebody out there
I read
somewhere,
it on the internet. It must be true.
It's got to be true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got so much going on with work, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot. But next week we will be doing a live show from an undisclosed location right now. As we get a little closer, we'll
undisclosed. I think we talked about it.
You want to go ahead and talk about it?
Yeah, sure. It's going to be down the street.
All right, yeah, we're going to be at Spirit World, the place that Britt can never remember the name of.
Never can. But they've got amazingly awesome beverages,
selection bar, and a little bit of everything there. So yeah, we're going to be doing that show live on Saturday, actually.
Yes, and it's going to be way early. It's 11 a.m. episode.
Yep. So you can catch the highlights afterwards, or try and catch us live, or swing on by Spirit World while we're down there.
I mean, yes, you can swing on by, but you're only going to be able to view us as a giraffe because we will be in their back room.
Oh, in that
little
door,
with the door shut.
Gotcha.
So, they can peek in.
Knock on the window. Quit tapping on the glass.
Them and their great habitat.
Yeah. Do not tap on the glass. It scares them.
Right.
So those are the shout outs that I had, other than I just wanted to say hi to Kevin. I see that he's watching.
Hi, Kevin.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Yep. So that brings us to the beer then.
Yes.
What we are drinking. Because it is Omaha Beer Week, I decided to stay completely local with everything that we're going to be drinking tonight.
Perfect.
This one comes to us from Nebraska Brewing Company.
Hey. We've been hearing a lot from them lately.
Yep.
Which I'm okay with.
Another shout out to Mitchell. Thanks for coming on the program a couple times. This is their Brunette Nut Brown. It is a 4%. 4.7% ABV, 20 IBU, so pretty low alcohol content, low IBU content, made with some Gelina hops, and it has been winning awards since 2010. And I think I had, if I bring up the internet and it lets me do that, to see what kind of awards they've been winning.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay, here we go.
The best ones.
Yes. Bronze medal 2010 for the World Beer Championship. Gold medal 2010 United States Open Beer Championship. Gold medal 2012 North American Beer Awards. Gold medal 2013 San Diego International Beer. Silver medal 2014 at CanFest. And another bronze medal 2016 for the Can Awards.
Can.
What can. So
with that said,
kinky.
Cheers. We're doing half
Samples.
portions.
Yeah.
We're doing half portions today.
Little samples today.
I'd say, what do you use, 4 ounces there, So we're going to do...
3,
well, I think 2 is half, because these are kind of like beer week glasses, so half of it would be 2,
actually,
full would be 4.
Mine is technically the...
Omaha Beer Week?
Omaha Beer Week from last year.
Backswing Brewing Company.
Yeah, oh, nice, yeah. So. Mine is the Beer Week from last year.
There we go,
so,
perfect.
Cheers. It's very smooth. Not a lot of carbonation. Very smooth.
Very like nutty. Yeah, it's exactly what
it's a bit nutty.
It's a bit nutty. But you know what? I like nuts. So very brown ale.
Well, it's a nut brown. So I mean, hey, you're hitting on all the notes
right here. Our vision for the classic English style brown ale extrudes rich aromas of beautifully blended malts and brings to mind a nut-like and toasted bread aspect in its excellent seasonal ale. Embrace the flavor.
It does. It has a very good flavor.
Embrace.
Dig it. Dig it. Well, we will...
hence the nut brown. Nutty.
Bit nutty. As we consume this one, we will be going on the talk. This week, we decided to do a kind of a tune-out.
Well, it's kind of going off the backbone of when we went to Minnesota. We did a time out episode, which means filtering all the things out of your life that don't need to be there, especially when
Taking
you're
a
on
break.
vacation. Yes, take a break from what you normally do to put your mind in a different place. This is kind of the same thing.
Very similar.
Only we're talking about tuning out your emails, tuning out your phone calls, tuning out your social media, just tuning out
media in general,
tuning out the things around you that get you distracted from what is going on in your life. I mean, I suffer from it constantly because I've got emails coming from 3 different places. I've got corporate emails, I've got local emails, and then I've got the place I work. Those emails coming through from that facility. So it's a bombardment of emails. And a lot of them are just like, hey, we updated this thing. And it's like,
great. That's nothing
awesome.
to do with me.
Thank you. I haven't printed that out, and that's 2 weeks away. Awesome. But, that is need-to-know information for certain people, but it's just a general cast thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to spot this stuff, what you should do about it, and some formulas on getting your mind right in doing that.
Yeah, the reason that we came up with this, it is... here we are in February. We're just coming into people's New Year's resolutions. It is also the season of Lent.
And then Brian just brought over 10 boxes of cookies for me, and I went, well, there goes my diet right out the door.
You have a new resolution.
Exactly, to eat all those boxes as quickly as I can so I don't have to have them in March.
Exactly. They're stuck in your freezer all year.
Hey, Beer Fest is next week, and we're going to be going to Extreme Beer Fest, which is awesome. But you know how, what was it, 2 years ago, I made those necklaces with pretzels on them?
Yeah.
And then I left them because they were like, no outside food or beverage. And then I get there, and then everyone's wearing them in line. I'm like, dang it, why didn't I bring them? Girl Scout cookies necklace.
You will be the most popular guy at Beer Fest.
Boom.
Yeah, you need like a backpack full of Girl Scout
Right.
cookies so I can rethread it.
Just get my drill bit out, just right through the thin mint. Put it on.
I just eat it right off the.
Just have my thin mints.
Yeah. Oh man. So back to New Year's resolutions, season of Lent. For resolutions in Lent, people give things up. They call it self-denial, where you either work out more or you say, "Hey, I'm not going to eat as many sweets." Or in Lent, you're giving things up for religious reasons. Are you giving up anything up this year?
Oh, boo. That was poor. It's a poor.
Poor.
No, I can't say that I've had anything that I want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get on the right track of my money spending.
Ooh,
so
yeah, that's a good
I'm
one.
not giving up, but I'm starting something new.
Yeah. I like those kind of things where you like a betterment instead of giving something up.
Right.
Betterment. This year I'm giving up
Yeah.
something, but
Yeah, which we'll get into, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to get rid of is auto pay. Not so much like my electricity bill.
you just want to know where your money's going, basically.
Well, yeah, I have no problem doing certain things on auto pay: cell phone bills, electricity, gas, things of that nature. But there are certain things that are on auto pay that I don't like. It's these $5 and $10 and $15 auto pays. You know, like I'm seriously sitting down and going, hey, I pay for ABC Mouse for my child. That's great. How much does my child actually play this game?
Right, yeah.
So is it worth I think it's $13 or $14, maybe $15 a month that I'm paying for this? So now we're starting this thing with Kyver, like a point system. And that game gives you tickets for things you do. And now he wants more games.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, well, you've got to get 200 tickets to get a game.
Yeah.
And then he was so close to 200. He was at like 168 or something like that. I'm like, oh, cool. You're like almost 30 points away, and you're almost going to get your... I went and took a shower, and then I came out, and he had 98 points. I'm like, what's going on? He ended up buying like a horse or something like that for his farm. You know, and so you can spend the tickets with inside the game, you know. So
Gotcha.
I got him the game anyway. I was like, well, you probably would have gotten 200 if you kept playing and didn't buy that horse. But, you know, whatever.
Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, well, no, hey, it's his tickets, so
Yeah,
he can
yeah,
spend them how
whatever.
he uses them.
Mm-hmm.
It's your money. You spend it how you want to.
What's the hardest thing that you've ever given up for Lent?
Oh, pasta.
Really? Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a carb fiend.
I can't say that I've gone more than a week without some kind of pasta.
Like ever in your entire life, other than giving it up for...
I gave it up, but I think I
Still snuck it in there.
I didn't manage.
Sundays don't count.
Oh yeah, I managed 2 weeks or something, like maybe 3 weeks, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I'm eating pasta, aren't I? But it is what it is.
Mine was coffee.
Oh, Brian, how could you do that to yourself?
Well, now I replaced it with tea, so that wasn't as bad.
So you still
but
had caffeine of sorts.
Yeah, and I was doing a lot of green tea, but yeah, anybody that knows me knows that I am a coffee kind of, pot a day or more kind of guy.
See, I'm not a pot a day. I mean, like, I'd say 2 cups. You know,
because that's I have 2 cups before I even start functioning.
Yeah, it's it's nice. I go to work, and then the first thing I do at work when I get to work is get a cup of coffee, and sometimes I'll go for a second one. Sometimes, but usually it's just the one is fine.
Yeah, I usually slow down.
My days are hectic.
I slow down when I start getting jittery. It's like, oh, okay, I've had enough. Hey guys, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Guys.
Already been in the bathroom 2 times. What's going on? Just going right through me today.
Yeah. I've cleared off everything that needed to be done today, and it's only 9 a.m.
Right. Well, you can do that if you know how to tune out the noise.
That's right.
And drink your coffee.
Yep, that's what I am giving up this year is I am giving up
This year or for Lent?
For Lent.
Okay.
All media as much as I can. Now, because of the podcast, I can't fully give up the social media aspect because we control our own social media.
Yeah. We don't pay somebody to do it.
Right. So I need to at least be on there enough to do that. But what I am doing with social media is I am only checking notifications.
You're not scrolling through feeds.
I'm not doing my news feeds. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I
haven't scrolled through a feed since Friday. So, I just Saturday was kind of a lazy day for us, and today we had other things going on.
I'm also I haven't been on Reddit. I got rid of, or I'm not checking my internet news because I gave up TV news a long time ago, but I'm not checking my internet news. I'm also not doing talk radio, which has been an interesting talk radio and checking my Facebook news feed. Those have been the two hardest because it's like a habit. Like I get in the car and I turn on talk radio. Yeah. And it's just happened. Now I'm listening to more local radio stations, or I'm listening to my own music or podcasts. Cool. Still consuming some media, but just in a different way.
You're filtering it out.
Exactly. Filtering the noise of everything else out. Facebook's another one that was tough to open your Facebook app to check the notifications and not scroll through your newsfeed. It's a little trickier than you think.
Well, if you actually press the little bell on Facebook, it'll open up its own segment, and then if you click on the whatever somebody commented on this or somebody liked one of your posts for this, if you click on that, it'll just open up that post, which kind of is a little more helpful. Right. If it opened up within the feed, you'd be like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. Oh, did I accidentally? Oh, whoops. Oh, crazy cat video. Oh, let's keep going. No, stop. So
just with that sound effect, you just reminded me of that dog that talks. Oh,
yeah. No, I gave it to the cat. Oh, right. That's a YouTube video. So does that count towards the media? Can we promote that?
I don't know.
It's a funny video. You should need more humor in your life.
It's called Drink Talk Podcast. You better look it up on that.
That's what you should be consuming. So this is for me. This is basically a media cleanse. I'm cleansing through
I'd like to see how this plays out.
It's actually a rough time right now because of all the Omaha Beer Week stuff going on. So it's tough for me. Now I'm following, some of those, the people that will post in the notifications. They pop up in my notifications so I can see some of the things, but I'm trying to stay
instead of scrolling through your news feed,
or the calendar.
Could you scroll through Nebraska Brew Crew?
I actually have
that, because that's a page.
Well, on Thursday I got the Go section from the Omaha World Herald, and in it is a calendar for Omaha Beer Week. So I'm going off of that.
Gotcha.
So the actual paper, like hold it in your hand.
It's paper.
Touch it, smell it, taste it. It's paper.
Half an hour. Water World.
Yeah. Oh, so I was going to put the question out there to see if anybody knew that, but that's all right. You already said it. So why are we doing why did I decide to do this? For me, I think we're going to take a break as we get to our next one, since we're doing these small samples.
Well, no, that's all right. I knew that we were going to go on to this, and I was just going to crack this. But go on to why you haven't.
I think this is a good time for a break, though, and then I'll get into why. So the next one that Britt brought out is the Dominican Brown Ale by Infusion. They originally called it the DR Brown Ale.
I have no idea what I did with my bottle opener.
Oh, dear.
That's all right. I got one right here. But
hey, some cool guy gave you a magnetic bottle opener.
Well, I keep it right there on the fridge so I don't lose it. But I'm going to look in this box right behind you.
Okay, that's fine. While you do that, I'll talk about the Dominican Brown Ale by Infusion. It is a 5.6% ABV, another 20 excuse me, another 20 IBU, so pretty low on the pretty mild flavored brown ale. They infuse it with coffee, chocolate, and vanilla from the Dominican Republic, which is why they call it the Dominican Brown Ale.
Dominican.
Yes, and since it's infused, I mean, that kind of gives way to the name, Infusion Brewing Company.
Ah, yes. That makes more sense.
Way more better sense.
Now, with that said, I'm noticing a little bit of crusties around the rim here. Come on, Infusion. But this was bottled December 20th here. So, little over 2 months ago.
Oh, those chocolate notes, like you can smell those chocolate notes right off the bat.
Well, that's what I'm thinking that the rim of this glass has on it. It's just like
stuff from the...
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. We're pouring it into cups, so it's all right. Yeah. No biggie. No biggie.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm starting to like this little sample pattern thing. We did it for our drink talk last week, which was on Girl Scout cookies. You guys want some cookies? I never even said that.
I know, we never did. And we never did talk about like a bunch of dudes sitting around talking about Girl Scout cookies.
Oh.
So this
is like chocolate.
Sweet. It's a sweet beer.
It is chocolatey.
Yeah. The coffee notes are very subtle. The vanilla and chocolate, though.
I mean, I can taste the coffee, but the chocolate is very overpowering.
Yeah.
I don't taste really any vanilla. but it's a brown ale.
To
so
me,
it's kind of more
yeah.
nutty, chocolatey coffee.
To me,
That's
the chocolate and vanilla are kind of a mixed there, but chocolate is heavier notes.
Yes.
And the aroma is definitely chocolate.
I will have to hand it to Infusion. They've got the vanilla brown, or the
vanilla bean.
the vanilla bean, which is very good, and they've got the Dominican, which is very good. But we last season, right before Christmas, we had their gingerbread.
Yeah, which tastes like a gingerbread cookie. You made a beer taste like a gingerbread cookie? Come on.
But it's awesome that you can make beers taste like that. That's awesome.
I know. I don't know that I would drink it all day, but it is amazing that you can make a beer taste like gingerbread.
Right.
On to the talk.
Yeah. Why are you giving it up?
I just found that, my days as a whole were getting cluttered. Just like I felt that every minute of the day I had something going on, and I was always busy. And between
I feel that way as well.
Yeah, between work and the podcast and social media and finding out what's going on around the world and everything, trying to spend time with family, just getting so cluttered. My mind was getting cluttered. It was stressing out, anxious.
My mind is telling me no.
Yes,
but my body
telling me yes. It started affecting my memory. And I was like, "Am I getting Alzheimer's? Oh, not already, please, no."
Right. And then you're scrolling through your newsfeed, and you're like, "Didn't I already see this?" And then you're like, "I got Alzheimer's."
Yes. Yeah. Let it out. So. Think of it like a cluttered house. You know that feeling like when your house is cluttered and you walk in, you're just like, but like when you like clear everything out and it's all clean and the countertops are all wiped down and got nothing on them, and you just
you purged.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here.
We need to purge this house. This house, by all means, is not big, but it suits our needs. It's big enough for our needs, but the problem is, since we've lived here for 2 years now, our needs keep, the stuff we keep buying, but the house doesn't change sizes.
Right, yeah.
So, my storeroom over here.
I think George Carlin had a bit on that. It's like we buy these houses to hold our stuff, and then we get more stuff, and then we got to buy a bigger house to hold more of our stuff.
Ooh, that would be something I need to get rid of in my life. That storeroom and everything that's in it.
Garage sale.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Or hand me up. Or whatever that second chances or whatever there's a hand me up store. It's not Goodwill.
A handout store.
Yeah.
Can I get a handout?
It's I forget. I think it's called Hand Me Ups.
Okay.
I think.
Shake my hand.
There's one on 90th and Maple that's furniture, and then they've got one
the handyman
on 156th and
I don't
Maple.
know. I'm just saying things with hand.
The handyman can. No, that's Candyman. Yeah,
Candyman can.
Candyman can. So what I've noticed. And it's only been a few days because Lent started Ash Wednesday, this last Wednesday here.
Yeah.
And so it's only been a few days. But what I've actually noticed in this short amount of time is that I have more time, like actual time in the day. Because if you calculate how many times you look at social media for how long.
Oh, yeah. If I were to put in calculation time of me spending on Facebook, so I'd say first thing in the morning, I usually pop on for 10 or 15 minutes before I even head out the door. It's like if I'm sitting on the toilet or
we all do it. Don't judge.
Waiting for the coffee to be made. If I take a bath in the morning, waiting for the tub to fill up. Something. I take showers in the morning, guys. Sometimes I'll take a bath, though. I didn't want to put that out there.
Do you light scented candles? Do you have a little rose petals?
Actually, I put Himalayan salt in there. I put baking soda in there, and I put a teaspoon of coconut oil, and just put that on a spoon and just drop that in the water. And I'll tell you what, I come out and I'm like, I've just buttered myself up.
I feel good.
Yeah, I just feel like I buttered myself up. I'm like,
and not like emotionally feeling good. Like I feel good.
Yeah, no, I feel like if it's a really, 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 really cold day and it's going to be super, super dry, little coconut oil in your bath water, you will feel amazing.
Well, and I have one of those jacuzzi tubs, and I don't want to. I'd rather have like a soaking tub to do that because I don't want to get all that stuff in there.
We have one of those tubs. It's just got a heater in it. You press the button and it circulates water, so it's kind of like a jet propulsion thing.
Similar,
and we have to clean it out every once in a while.
What I also noticed is not only do I have more time actual, but I have more time mental.
Nice.
So, which means more time for thinking, creating. I'm slowly losing the gotta check social media habit. So, your mental facilities opens you up to creativity and ideas and expanding upon those ideas, which gets me into the next section, the consumers versus creators.
Okay.
So, as a society, we are consumers, not only just buying things.
Oh, absolutely.
But
just look around my house.
But consuming information.
You know, they say that it's Facebook and it's all your friends on Facebook. But now you've got to judge who are friends versus acquaintances.
Right. That's kind of how you're getting into how I want to solve it.
Okay.
A little bit.
Fair enough.
But that's a good point on there, and that there's some decluttering that you can do.
Because there's
a
lot of friends that waste my time, but then there's also acquaintances who totally waste my time.
Right. But as far as like the consuming portion of it, I mean, just think of what you do to buy. I mean, people have all heard of the shopping therapy. This is like consuming, but just as a information.
They have a name for that. It's called FOMO.
Oh, fear of missing out. Yeah, that's part of it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, fear of missing out. Also, like excuse me. Not only are we consuming the information from like news, and because we've got 24-hour news cycles on multiple channels and internet, and
which one do you watch?
Exactly, but
hopefully not CNN.
When it comes to social media, we're also collecting a whole lot of information on our friends and family, and we're comparing ourselves to their. You're seeing a snippet of their lifestyle on Facebook, and probably the best version of that lifestyle.
Oh yeah, there's 19 photos behind that one that was awesome.
Right, and now you're trying to compare your life to that little snippet of the perfect
hate
life.
That.
Yep.
It's I'm not going to point any fingers at my wife or people that I know.
You just did.
No, that's what I'm not going to. It's it's like, oh look, they went on vacation. This is their second vacation of the year, and it's like, okay, cool, good for them that they can do that. We're just not set up to do it like that, right now. But, who knows? In 10 years from now, maybe we'll take 3 or 4 or 5 vacations in a year. I don't know, But you're starting to judge, or not judge, but you're starting to critique your life compared to others. And I don't like that.
Right. Yeah.
I think I've got a great life.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, if you're trying to compare yourself to, let's say, let's just use working out.
Don't be jealous.
Yeah.
Don't be jealous.
Let's use working out as an example. If you're trying to compare yourself to someone that has like the 6-pack abs and you're just starting your workout program, well, they're many, many steps into this, and you're at step 1. So that's not a good comparison. It's not a healthy comparison. Just be, excuse me. Just be you. Be the best version of you possible. Yeah, I need to get some
get some liquids in you. Speaking of that, we need to get another liquid.
Get the next one. What's the next one you're going to bring us, Britt?
Well, why don't we just finish off this nut brown? I mean, there's 2 ounces left.
This break brought to you by Dominican Brown Ale 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, they used to call it DR Brown Ale for Dominican Republic, but this is the new name, I guess.
What were we just talking about? Oh, yeah.
Consumers versus creators.
Exactly.
So if you're consuming information all the time, that leaves very little time for creating.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm finding myself with the job that I'm in right now. Well, let's just say this. This month of February, Jake came up to me and he's all like, Britt, I think that we are going to get a DJ on Friday nights, which is usually my night. He's like, what's your thoughts on that? He's like, I don't want to take any money away from what you think you're going to be getting from here. He goes, you can come on Saturday nights, or fix stuff at my other place, or hang a chandelier, or do maintenance around here to cross that. And I went, you know what, Jake, I don't even know if I want to do Saturdays. Right now, with me being at work, I last week I had 24 hours of overtime. that kind of makes up for the pay. And it's nice to not have to be needed every Friday. That's one of my goals right here is to be selfish with your Fridays.
Yeah, that's actually my family's only family day, because Monday through Thursday is, the girls have stuff going on every single day between gymnastics and dance and swimming lessons and voice lessons and piano lessons. They have stuff going every single day. But Friday night, that's pizza and movie night for us.
Oh, nice.
That's our time together, and we don't always have to do movie.
Pizza and movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do about game night.
We always have to do pizza bread.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Let's get that straight.
Yeah, no, they do get mad when it's like, we're not having pizza.
Not pizza.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you've got to carve out some time for yourself, and I'm finding with my job and my other jobs and whatnots and this show that I have very little free time.
Mm-hmm.
Today was the first day that I was super lazy. We woke up, we hung out, we just watched some TV and made some food, but we really didn't get up to do anything at all until about 3:30 this afternoon when we went to the circus. And it was
how is the circus nowadays?
First of all, when you get there,
was it the Ringley Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus?
When you first get there, it's when you walk in the front doors, you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to the circus. But they parade you around into their exhibit hall, which has all their elephants and camels and things of that nature
Tigers
in there. So you're immediately getting a waft of barn.
Exotic barn.
Exotic barn.
It's not quite cow. What is that?
But recommendations, the first thing that you need to do is pony up $5 and buy your kid some light up something, and we found a light up.
Makes noise or whatever.
It doesn't even have to make noise. It just has to light up, because they'll do the whole thing where they turn off all the lights and they're like, all right, turn on your toys and let them blink, and the whole stadium's blinking. And if you don't have one, then you're the crappy dad,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing you got to do is buy a sword or some kind of light up toy that they have there.
Speaking of, a little side tangent on that, I love going to concerts when they have the bracelets that are in tune with the music.
Oh yeah,
that's freaking cool that they can do that.
Yep. I believe it's all done with Bluetooth, long range Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And anyway, I think they do them over Wi-Fi as well too.
I was going to say Bluetooth is pretty short range, but
I have my long range Bluetooth will go 100 plus feet.
Yeah, but you're talking concert. I mean,
you're in an open arena.
I guess if you had multiple antennas.
Whatever's going.
We're going on a tangent.
Exactly. And then the second thing that you need to buy is their crappy food. So whether it be the fried donuts or the stale popcorn or the
fried donuts are amazing.
I know, the fried donuts were amazing. Erica was standing in line at the fried donut thing when we came in. And I was like, here's $5. Please give me some donuts. She's like, what kind do you want? I'm like, the best kind.
Donuts.
Whatever that one is. She's like, but there's 5 different kinds. I'm like, the best ones. Just get that one.
Yeah.
I don't care what you give me. Just give me some.
Mm-hmm. Make sure they're warm when they come to me.
And then, the circus was fun. The acts that they had there, same acts they've been doing all year, every year, all the time for the past 20 some odd years. You got the motorcycle thing, and you've got the tiger thing, and then you got the acrobatics, and you've got the elephants, and instead of dogs this year, though, I saw they had pigs. Yes.
The other smart animal.
Yeah, and it was a fun little performance.
And they're delicious.
But no, it was a good time.
Do you think pigs know that they're that delicious?
I bet you they do.
There's probably some cannibalism going on.
I wouldn't put it past them. I'm sure that they're like, oh, we got this left over, we'll just give it to the pigs. But it's the pigs.
Right.
Oh, they'll like it.
All right, next one.
Yes.
Right. What's the next one we're bringing out?
You tell me. This is your bunch.
This break brought to you by
this one looks good.
Yeah, the Layabout Pale Ale comes to us from Lucky Bucket Brewing Company out in La Vista. It is a 5.5% ABV. And do you know what
I didn't get any carbonation like a. Now I might have just done it off to the side, but we'll see if we get bubbles here.
Some We'll see.
I think it'll be all right.
Okay. You know what they actually call this one? The nickname for this one? Lawnmower beer.
Because it's the layabout.
But they call it, I always call things lawnmower beer, the lighter beer. So let's see if this is something that I would want to drink after mowing the lawn.
Right.
Cheers. Very clear. Wow. Oh yeah, I think we lost
very light,
and we lost some carbonation in there.
It's definitely lost carbonation.
Very flat. So the flavor's good. I like the flavor. It's a pale ale. Very easy to drink. The drinkability, other than it being flat. And it might have just been the bottle. I'm not going to fault Lucky Bucket. I think it was the bottle. I think the seal on the cap just wasn't good. I got a bad one.
Meh.
So
it's all right. Still drinkable.
Yeah, still drinkable. Still finish this one. This little sample.
Yes. So no. Some quick, easy steps on trying to tune out stuff. Is set a parameter. Set a strict diet for emails. Set a strict diet for
times. Like I'm only going to check them at certain times.
Yeah, well, with diet, I'm saying that in a general format.
One of the ones that I heard for Lent, because Lent is 40 days, excluding the Sundays, but 40 minutes for 40 days. So they take a 40-minute hiatus during the day, not like, hey, when you wake up, like no electronics, no text, no email.
You should actually do that before bed as well.
Yeah. Oh, easy 40 minutes before bed. Don't be checking your screen right before bed.
Yeah. Luckily, my phone has a setting where it turns the blue off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and the blue is what really
night shift is
messes your head up. But yeah, your emails. Let's just say during the workday, you're not really checking your personal emails. You're more checking your work emails. And that's, you're at work. You should be checking your work emails. But you shouldn't just have your email browser open up in your window. Even if you're sitting at your computer all day long, you don't need to have that up in the corner, constantly checking that every 5 minutes and like, I have to respond right away. It's urgent, Now, some people I have seen have pressed the urgent button and you receive an email that is time sensitive. But for most cases, when you get an email, a person isn't looking for a response immediately right away.
Yeah,
people know that, with emails, it's like an hour, so maybe even 2 hours. And then, okay, feel free. But I'm not saying put off your emails. I'm just saying you don't need to check them all the time.
To me, like the order of importance, like if you want a response at some point, email. If you need something relatively soon, text. If you need something now, call. That's kind of that's my order of importance.
Yeah,
like if it's that important, and you need to get a hold of me. Call me.
Right.
If it's immediate, because I'll more than likely answer the phone if I see it's you, unless I'm really really tied up. And if you call twice, then I know something's up.
You're like, oof, I should have got that first one.
Urgent.
With that said, don't be checking your phone while you're driving.
You're getting into a whole nother topic.
Well, I'm driving. Just saying.
That's just stupid.
People will do that. People will hear that noise, the notification. For one, there's a way to change that. If you don't know, go ahead and contact your local provider or go online or YouTube it or
your phone has that function.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can make emails a sound. You can make text messages a sound. You can
shut them off when you're driving.
Yeah, you can make sounds for each individual person and then a general for everyone else. So if you set up these notification ringtones properly, when you hear one, you're like, I really don't need to get that because I know it's just like nobody, Or if you hear this certain one that you set up for your mom, you're like, well, maybe I should get that because that's mom, Some to that nature.
Now you're playing favorites.
I'm just saying. I know. You know what I'm saying. Set it up so it's easy for you.
Right. For me, some of the hints that I have, and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when you said your friends versus acquaintances on your newsfeed. If you want to take the small step, now realize this is something that is going to take some time. A lot of people, social media is a habit. So breaking a habit's going to take some time. So realize that and do small steps. The first step would be go through your friends list. Are all those friends people you want to hear from?
If you haven't seen that down, if you haven't seen that friend in 5+ years, you might want to rethink that. Like, yeah, we were once high school friends way back in the day, but we don't hang out at the bar with each other. And if I ran into you on the street, would I actually even say hi? Because would I remember that person's face? You know, like, oh yeah, you know.
I've actually heard of people using like the happy birthday notifications. Like when it's your birthday on social media, obviously everybody says happy birthday. I've heard of people that use that opportunity to see who's actually doing it and then going through their list and saying, oh, you know, I guess it's like oh, you said happy birthday to me. You can stay on the list because you're saying happy birthday to me. Is that right or wrong? It is a way of purging your list.
It is a way of purging your list, but like in your case, what if you don't scroll through the feed and see that it's somebody's birthday and you don't answer that, but you guys are friends? It's just,
I'm not saying
hey, I said it to your face because I saw you 3 days earlier. You know, like things of that nature.
You don't have to get that drastic, but it is a way of maybe take that day and just say, oh, you know, I haven't heard from so and so in 8 years. You know, since Facebook was a thing. Right. Let's get them out of there.
Yeah. What I don't get is when someone asks to be your friend and you go, I don't even know you, and you click on them to see what that's all about, and then it's all like one person, a mutual friend, and you're like, I'm not even friends with that mutual friend.
Right.
Like, how are you even coming at me? Oh, because you know somebody who knows this guy that knows me.
Yeah, the one that I've seen lately on like Instagram is people that follow our page, and it'll be like the name, like a random name, and then like 8 numbers behind it, and you click in there, and almost every single one of them has only 6 posts that have been made in the last 17 hours. It's like, what is going on here? Is this somebody that just they're trying to get people on their Instagram account?
Trying to get clickbait.
Yeah, clickbait friends.
Yes.
Yeah, get rid of them. I don't even follow them. Something else that you could do is maybe choose one platform at a time. If you were wanting to take some time off of social media, maybe choose one platform at a time. Maybe one week do, hey, I'm going to not be on Twitter for this week, or Instagram, or Facebook. And then next week, do a different one. That's a small way to take a step to do that. Or try doing it for a day. Like just a day. No social media. I know that seems crazy. Or a week. Or a weekend.
And there's other things to fill that void. If you're like, well, I just cannot get rid of social media, look at a platform like YouTube. You could go onto YouTube and instead of watching that funny cat video, actually learn something that might help you out. If you're into woodworking, check that out. There's a new design. Yeah, there's if you want to build a shed in the backyard, if you want to make that favorite meal for your loved one.
Something, like I said before, getting into the consumerism versus creating.
Yep.
When was the last time? Like us, we create this podcast content. That is a creation of some sort.
Absolutely.
What have you done?
We have hours of creation.
When was the last time you created something? Drew something?
Made something that was your own.
Yeah.
Besides
written
it being
poem.
a work project.
Yeah. Even written a thank you letter. Oh my God. Writing a handmade thank you letter.
Oh, yeah. Those are a rarity.
I know, right? Or, like you said, filling the time. How about this? When was the last time you just sat and thought?
Yeah.
Like, took more than 10 seconds.
Read a book.
Now you're asking a lot.
You know? Now you're
That's a commitment.
Now it's like reading and then remembering. Oh, my gosh.
I'm a big audiobook kind of guy because I spend a lot of time in the vehicle.
So. And, absolutely, you can't read a book while you're driving a car.
I've seen it. Or you could have the new Teslas.
Well, you could live out in L.A. and your traffic's going a half mile an hour. So, yeah, go ahead and read the book. But yeah, I mean, it's the whole point we're going to be making for this whole entire conversation, and I'm sure we'll repeat it 100 times, is just making time for yourself in order to think and process things. Mindfulness, stilling your mind. Yes. Making it quiet. Like a cluttered house, a cluttered mind gets a little crazy. It doesn't leave a lot of room for creativity
thoughts.
Oh, my pet peeve is my wife in the kitchen making dinner with the radio on, just quiet enough for her to hear it, but yet I still hear it. And then I'm trying to watch some kind of show or even Thomas the Train for my kid, and then he's running around. Then he's running around screaming, and I've got these three things going on in my head, and then all of a sudden my phone goes doodle-doo, and you're like, ugh, I don't need this in my life right now. Mm-hmm. There's too many things, too much noise.
Quiet.
I know. I'm like, turn off the radio. She's like, oh, it's quiet. I'm like, turn off the radio. Guyver, be quiet. And then I just turn the TV off, and then everybody goes quiet, and everybody's like, what is going on with Britt? And I'm like, I just need to breathe.
When I was actually going through doing some classes, there was an app that I found that's called Brainwave. And what's interesting about it is it has like one tone in one ear and another tone in another ear, and that's cross tone.
So you have to wear headphones is what you're saying.
Yeah, they call it binaural tones. And that little cross tone in your brain does something. Apparently there's some science behind it. Okay. But you can do everything from like morning coffee or alertness or calm or meditation or power nap or lucid dreaming or, deep sleep. They've got the whole range, and you can do, 10, 20, 30 hour minute chunks. And you can also have like because it is just a tone, you can have either light music playing behind there, or you can have like, waves crashing down, a rainstorm, a thunderstorm, just things.
You wake up in a cold sweat and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a... Oh no, it's just my headphones that I have on.
I actually found that really... Now, it's not for everybody, but it really helps, like, tune everything out. I use noise-canceling headphones, put that in, tunes everything out. It's awesome for studying. I still use it when I'm reading, because I have a hard time. My mind wanders really, really easily when I'm reading, so it helps me focus. I really enjoy those type of apps. Something else, filling time. When was the last time you took a walk or a hike in nature?
Yeah, didn't you do that yesterday?
And today, actually.
Because
we had
good for you.
Had some weather, some nice weather today. So.
See, I do 10 miles at work every day, so...
Yeah,
I get enough walking.
Oh yeah, I get about 10 miles walking, 10,000 steps easy a day. But yeah, I live really close to a trail.
Isn't a mile 2,000 steps?
I don't know.
I thought it was 2,000 steps for a mile.
Well, it's 2,000. It's 5,600 feet.
I'm sure somebody can find that.
Yeah, it's like 5,600 feet. So, excuse me. If your stride is less than 3 feet, which most people is, I would say that yes, that'd be about 2,000 steps. So that's 5 miles, right? If only we had a device connected to the wealth of human knowledge. And I thought you had to know research on the podcast, but that's all right.
Here we go. How many steps in a mile? There we go. 1,943.
Oh,
2,000. I was close.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, but 10,000 steps roughly is a little less than
5
10
miles.
No, well, it says 1,300, right?
1,947.
Okay, so
2,000 steps.
Okay, so that was 5 miles. All right. But yeah, no, we've had warmer weather here. There is a lot of research on the health benefits of walking in nature.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Get your mind right.
Mm-hmm. Breathe that natural air.
Oh, that was, back when Carly and I first started dating, that was one of my favorite things of doing. We used to go to Platte River State Park.
Oh, yeah.
And just go hiking.
Yeah, isn't that where you got married?
It is exactly where we got
Mojo Poe, where his picture went.
He's
I
up
don't
top
know.
there still.
Oh, there it is. Hey, I made a rhyme. Poet, and I didn't know it.
Oh,
yes, now it is time to break out the super juice. The super juice called Supa Juice by Cross-Strain.
Super.
I'm excited for this. People have been going nuts over this on Nebraska Brew Crew.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to have this on the show 3 weeks ago, but then we were at Barley Boys, but we ended up drinking it at Barley Boys for the after talk.
Yes,
so,
not for this one.
Yeah,
that's all right. So this one is the Super Juice by Cross-Strain out in La Vista again. It is a double IPA. This is our heavy hitter, 9.4% ABV, and it does also, which I find really interesting, 94 IBU. So you have 9.4% ABV and 94 IBU. Well, that's kind of cool. It's dry hopped with Simcoe and Amarillo hops, and it has been named the top 10 beers by Milwaukee Magazine.
So like when you make a good stew, or if you make a good chili, you start with like a roux. I want to know their roux for this beer. You know,
Well,
if you could get the flavor of the roux that they make for this beer,
you mean the mash? We beer in the beer
call
world
it the mash.
Yeah.
I'm not a brewer, so I call it the roux.
Well, now here's the thing:
you could do amazing things.
They do
off of just the base flavor of this.
There's like 5 or 6 different kind of hops in this thing, and that a lot of that's going to be brewed in. But the dry hopping in the fermentation process, the Simcoe and the Amarillo hops are used in that, and they probably use them in large quantities. So that's where a lot of the aroma and flavor is going to come from, is in that dry hopping. You'll still get it in the brewing process, but this is very hazy. Crazy hazy.
Crazy hazy.
Very aromatic bouquet. Very, very hop forward.
Yeah, if you're not into hops, do not drink this.
This is very hoppy.
Because it's like literally taking a mouthful of hops and just chewing on it.
And to me, I call that hop happy because I love hops.
Oh, I can't get enough of hops. Whenever I have a beer, I go, how come this isn't hoppy enough?
It is straight up bitter hops.
I would compare all my beers to this beer.
Yeah,
I've had this.
I'm glad we had this last, because if we would have had this first, which it was first in my list of notes, but if we would have had it first, it would have wrecked the palate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Any of the other beers. Very good though. Nice work.
Well, we had 2 darks, 2 lights.
Well, and cross strain, obviously Fairy Nectar is another one of their big ones, but I like this one. This is really, really good.
Well, the biggest craze right now is the Fairy Nectar
London hops, or the double dry hopped. Yes, indeed. I'm trying to bring up this. I had the cross strain. Let's see. Kind of dig their website. It's a little. Oh, the name. Yeah, the name of the 2 co-owners, Cross and Strain.
Gotcha. I thought it was like a play on
Crisscross.
Don't cross the streams.
Bobby
Ghostbusters.
Bobby Cross.
No, I knew it was the 2 owners.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
No, I kind of dig their website, the way they have it laid out. So I would like to try some of their Hell's Creek.
I have not. Just like when I go to Vis Major and have stuff that's new and whatnot, I have gone to Cross Strain and have had their samplers. I haven't had anything bad yet.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys are knocking it out of the park out there. So kudos. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, and when you go there, it's right next to Pint 9. They're neighbors, literally next door to each other. And either one has a kitchen, but what's cool is on each one of their menus, they have a list of local stuff that will deliver directly to the brewery. So you can,
nice.
And they also encourage you to bring in food if you want. And sometimes they hold events where they have taco trucks out there. Or food trucks.
Taco truck.
Taco truck on Taco Tuesday. Sometimes Thursday.
Right. So I only made it to the first one so far. Strict email diet. A strict phone diet.
Oh, are you talking things to... Sorry.
Things to better your tune outage.
Tune outage. We're
tune outage.
It's the new...
Yo, man. Tune it out, man.
Tune outage, man.
Is a strict phone diet. So when you have your phone and it's in your pocket or whatnot, it vibrates and you're like, immediately you're like, okay, who's that? What's going on? You know, like, because you're on vibrate mode. Or if you're still on ring mode, you get that notification and you immediately have to grab your phone. One thing I've learned from my wife is... you don't need to. Her phone, she leaves in the kitchen half the time, and something will come through, a text message or something like that, and I'm like, hey honey, you got a message? She's like, okay, cool. Yep. She's doing something else. Me, I would have gotten up and went like, okay, who needs my help right now? But she is no slave to her phone.
Nice.
Which is great.
That's a good habit to get in.
I got to take a chip from her. I'm like, how do I combat that? And one of the nicest things that happened to me the other day was, I think it was Monday. So coming off of Sunday into Monday, I had my phone on silent. Because when I sleep, I turn my phone to silent. I do. I don't need anybody bothering me at, my sleeping hour.
I just started doing that maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I get a text message, at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't respond until, some of those messages will say are coming from bar folk, and I will
Are they drunk texting you?
Well, not per se. It's like, hey, we need to get this fixed, or hey, what do you think about that? So I text them back at 7 o'clock in the morning because I know that they're probably sleeping, and they did it to me, even though they didn't wake me up. I'm now blocking that out of my life. And so Monday rolls around, and I still have it on silent, and with alarm only, so the alarm will wake me up. But all Monday day, my phone didn't ring. I thought it was great. I was just like, man, this is awesome. End of the day, I grab my phone, and I've got 4 missed phone calls, 7 text messages, 13 emails. I'm like, oh,
I had it on silent.
But you know what?
The end of the world did not happen.
Yeah, the end of the world didn't happen. Nobody got mad at me. I got back to them at the end of the day when I could get back to them, and nobody was pissed off that I didn't respond right away. And that's great. I love it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I noticed over the last year or so when I've gone to the silent mode at night, because I always kept it on with my job. We do late calls and all that stuff. So
I mean, with your job, you gotta have your phone on.
Well, it's
when you're on call.
Yes, but anyway, I've noticed that there have been times where, like, I'll say, you know what, I want to go to bed a little early tonight. So I do, and I get up in the morning, and I've missed some notifications from friends or whatever. But, yeah, it's one of those that, like, what happens, like, if you message me at 10:30, 11:30 at night, and you don't get an immediate response, they're not mad. It's just, hey, I was just thinking of something. I had a quick question. You get back to them the next day, no big deal. It's fine.
Well, for those of you who don't know, there are people out there that don't know, because there was one time I have a friend, Rich.
We'll call him Bob.
Rich.
Well, Rich.
Not Rich, who I work with. Rich, who
not the one that's been on the program.
He used to be an old neighbor of mine. Anyway, Rich, my old neighbor, I saw his phone one time, and the whole entire top bar was just full, and then it's like plus 17, and I'm like,
what?
I'm like, do you know
the top bar?
So the very top bar of your phone, the very top, this notification bar up top.
Okay.
So if I go into my phone right now, it looks like I've got 2 alerts that are weather. So if I drop down here, I've got 2 alerts, and then I've got 2 emails, and then I've got a system update, and then it says I'm connected to.
I was going to say, so this is Android, which is different, but like Apple's different.
Apple has a top bar.
No, it doesn't. Actually, our notifications are
the little bubbles
on the apps themselves.
Gotcha. I thought you had a little top bar. Anyway, on Android, he seriously had the whole top bar full. So I think you can put like 10 icons on the very top saying like, hey, there's a notification in this program for this, whatever. And then it said like plus 17 after it. I was like, you can clear those out. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm like, there's a button that just says clear all. You can just clear them all, and then you're just done with it. But here's the thing. You can go into your settings. It's both on Android and Apple. You can go into your settings. There's a thing called notifications, and you can turn it off per program.
And or what level? Do you want just like the app icon? Do you want the notification on your lock screen? Do you want it to alert you right away? I mean, there's multiple modes. Do you want it to do a sound?
If you're not tech savvy on that sort of thing, YouTube it and say, how do I turn off my notifications to blah? Because sometimes, like, I was getting notifications for an app, and I'm like, I downloaded this app because I wanted to check one thing on it one time, and now this app is notifying me twice a day. And it's like, well, no, I don't need that information in my life. I went there just because I needed information, but I don't need you to continue to give me information.
Or if you want to get crazy, you could do this thing called Do Not Disturb.
Oh, yes. It's like airplane mode almost.
Pretty close.
It leaves it on, but...
Yeah, because actually with Do Not Disturb mode, if somebody calls you and it's an emergency and they call you again, it will actually go through.
So the first time it won't, but the second time it will.
Right.
Gotcha. Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, that's an Apple. I don't think we have that on Android, but
I would think
we
that
might
they would have something similar.
We
to
might
that.
have. I've never had to use it.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Okay.
But yeah, that falling in line, getting notifications, and B, scaling back what you don't use. I'm finding a lot of apps on my phone that I just don't use, but are alerting me for content in them, and it's just like, I don't care that you have more new content. You're always going to have more new content. I don't care.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's something that I wanted to bring up too. Is that we did have something pretty major happen over the last couple days down in Florida, which has been completely horrific. But since I've been kind of in this media blackout, I still knew what was going on. Excuse me. Because of some of the notifications that I had on my social media and all that. You can still find out what's going on in the world without getting too crazy of checking your internet news every half hour. You'll know what's going on. If it's something major, there are multiple avenues to find out what's going on.
The weird thing I found the other day, I wanted to know what was hot and new and what was happening in the news. And so I went on to YouTube on my Apple TV, and I typed in top news. And it had one thing. It had one thing from one program. It's like 100 now things news, I'm like, okay, top news today. And the first 40 top news today were all Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. It was all not English-speaking news stories. I just thought that was weird.
Was it Al Jazeera? Like top news stories?
No, it was like the news broadcasts in those countries. But I just thought it was weird when I typed in top news. Only one thing came up.
That is weird.
So do the other news companies don't think that their news is top news? They just think it's just regular news?
Did it search for top news like as a YouTube channel? Like
I did it in YouTube.
Right, but I wonder if I don't know.
It would just look up anything that somebody tagged it top news. Huh. But there was only one thing that came up.
Start tagging all our stuff top news.
Right, exactly. It'll all just be right there up top. That's what I'm thinking is top news, top news, top news.
Yep.
But here we are giving our secret away. But yeah, I just thought that was a little weird. I was just like, okay, all right, I guess.
Yep.
I know I was side tangent.
No, that's all right.
So number 3 was be selfish with your Fridays, which we kind of already talked about.
Yeah, we did.
We did that.
If you have a family, pick a day.
A day.
Have a day with just your family.
And a lot of times people choose Sundays, and that's you're going to church, giving yourself to God, and then after that maybe you'll go out for lunch or something like that. But we need to start getting back into family dinners.
I know. Well. Yeah,
we've been busy. Yeah. We've all been busy, and I get it. But we went from having at least 3 a month to we haven't had one since January, the first week in January. I don't think.
I took Eric out for his birthday last Tuesday, and we were trying to think of how long it's been. It was like Christmas since we've all really been together.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
For
like last year
for us as a family, because we were always getting together. Like I said, it was always like 3 times a month we were getting together.
Easy, yeah.
Two totally, 3 sometimes. But yeah, we've gone from that to like, man, I haven't seen you. Now I see you every week. That's another thing. But we got this.
We
got this show. We got to do this. But yeah, I hadn't seen Erica in like 3-4 weeks. Today was the first day I saw Erica in a month.
Yeah, I saw her at church today, and she's like, "It's been so long." I'm like, "Holy crap, you're right. It's been a while since I've seen you."
Family life, it gets cut up.
It gets crazy, but pick a day. Pick a day. And is it always going to work? No, it's not always going to work. But if you can
tune out other things and then focus in on family,
hey, it's all circular,
synergy,
coming back around, going back around. So if you're looking for a New Year's resolution or something to give up for Lent, maybe give this a try. Put away some social media stuff. What else you got on this?
Set boundaries, unplug, take a day off, create a noise filter system for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what we're talking about.
And you can start small. Yeah. And we listed some of the steps.
Start with, if you constantly get notifications on your phone from something that you're not using or don't care about, but yet you do the drop down thing and then you just swipe it off to the side to get rid of it, why not turn off that notification?
That's like
turn that off.
So that's what I do with emails. I was getting, at one point I was getting like, every day I would get, 3 to 4 emails from like this one section, and 3 to 4 from this one, and 3 to 4. So if I spent like at least a week just not even looking at the email, just delete. It's like, why am I receiving these if I never actually look at it? So I would go back and say unsubscribe from that email.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm already starting to do that as well. I'm starting to get these emails from other companies. I went to a tech event down in Orlando, and it's just all the new latest gadgets. And I was just business card, take my email, blah, 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 this and that. So my work email is starting to get cluttered now. And it's like a lot of those I can mark as junk, and then it just goes straight to my junk folder. Mm-hmm. Well, now my junk folder fills up like 500 in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which is good that I've processed that out. And in my junk folder, I take it and I just go trash can. See you later. I don't even want to look at what's in my junk folder.
Right.
But
it's there for a reason.
It's totally there for a reason. I guess I don't know where I was going with this. There was another thing. Telemarketers. That's what I was getting at.
I don't even answer my home phone anymore.
Well, that's the thing. You should. So now when I get a phone call that's almost looks exactly like my phone number, only like one digit off, I'm like, that's a telemarketing phone call, So I pick it up and I wait on the line. And a lot of times it's a computer. And sometimes it'll just be like, blah, 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 healthcare, blah, blah, blah. You were looking, months ago, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, if I was looking months ago, I've probably figured it out by now. But I usually stay on the line, and the computer will actually ask you, are you still looking for healthcare? And I just go, no. And it'll say, we have now put you on our do not call list. Click.
Hey.
Yeah. And I'm like, cool. That's one more do not call list that I've been put on, which is great. So if you're getting those annoying phone calls, stick with it, stay on the line, and get yourself taken off or put on a do not call list.
So Chris here just stated back when we were talking about the emails, and I was going to bring this up, and I didn't. So thank you, Chris, for bringing this up. I have people that have a lot of notifications on their emails. Chris just said he has 13,000 unread emails.
That's ridiculous.
Not 1,300, unless that's a mistype on Chris's part, but he has 13,000.
I think the most I've ever had was like 340.
That's still crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Go through your email.
Mm-hmm.
Take a day. One of the best things was the job that I had. They put me off in a facility that was away from where I work.
They didn't want you near people.
This property needed someone to fill in because we let go of someone, so I ended up over there. Best thing ever. Because when I was over there, I had more time to check my emails, sort my emails. Mm-hmm. Like, I made a list of all the people that give me emails and all that stuff, and it's like, folder, and then it's like, oh, Charlie sent that to you, and I go, Charlie? Click. No, he didn't ever send me that, because it would be in the Charlie folder if he did. But it allowed, now I have a way of keeping my work emails organized, and now at any given time, I think I might have 10 to 12 unread emails, which a lot of times you can just see the subject line. You're like, I don't even need to read that, Mm-hmm. It's just an update from, this is the 5th update for that show, Great. I will print the stuff off when I get around to it.
Right. That also goes for a little side tangent. That also goes for text messages.
Oh, you're saying that it's not a typing error? Is that what you were going to say?
Oh, you got it up there too.
Yeah. So, Live Desk Facebook,
mm-hmm.
which we use for this podcast, has now gone to the way that I suggested, and they must have been listening, because they've actually answered a lot of my questions. I've emailed them back and forth. I told them, here's our show and all this sort of stuff. So they might have been listening and came back with, I actually have the feed now.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah, the way I've got it on mine is it's actually on the video, which is a little less.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So yeah, that's kind of. I did mention the text messaging, but going back and checking those too. But
simplify your life. Take time to organize. That's the biggest thing. Take time to organize.
Oh yeah. And if you're not checking social media 4 to 5 hours a day, you'll have plenty of time to do that. It'll open up time for
instead of getting on social media and
declutter your life.
Set notifications. Make the notification ringtone something that you want to hear. That you go, oh, that's important. Or when you hear that ringtone notification, you go, that's not that important. I'll get to that when I get to it. That's that ringtone,
right? What I've noticed, I do have the Apple Watch also, which is tied into my phone. And the nice thing is, yes, you do get the notifications all the time, but it's a very, I don't need to get to that right now. It's nothing big.
That is handy. But we're not telling you to go out and buy a $1,000 watch.
It's not an $8,000. I mean, they do have those
$1,000 watch. A $1,000 watch, not 8,000.
It's not a $1,000 watch.
Whatever,
right?
You know what it is.
Yeah,
400, whatever. It's an expensive watch
for like $200, man.
Whatever. Anyway, they don't work with Android, so I don't care.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure. Whatever.
It probably.
Yep. Well, that's all I had on this one. I think we're going to cut this one a little.
Don't say it's short.
No, you're right. It's not. Yeah, we're over an hour. It's perfect. It's the perfect time.
Perfect time to have another beer is what
exactly.
I'm thinking.
We'll head into the after talk, but we thank you for joining us on this one. This is I think we'll call this one Tune Out. I think that's a good one.
I kind of put tune out in quotes.
Yeah, tune out, like the noise of life, of media, social media.
We're not saying to tune out family. We're not saying to tune out your friends
or this
podcast. We're just saying to organize your life better so that you have more time for yourself and more time to think and more time for your family.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think
immediate family.
If you take some small steps, I think you will notice a drastic change in how much extra time you have. I've already noticed that, and I've only been doing this for just a handful of days. So not even a full week, like half a week.
I didn't check Facebook today. I think I spent all of maybe 10 seconds on Facebook. Something came across, and I was like, oh, I should probably check that out real quick. And I looked at it. I'm like, I didn't even look at that. But I had all the time in the world today. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. We've been drinking on, this one is the Super Juice by Cross Strain. We did the Brunette Nut Brown by Nebraska Brewing Company. We did the Layabout Pale Ale by Lucky Bucket, the Dominican Brown Ale by Infusion, and the one that we haven't done yet was the Oatmeal Pale Ale by Brickway, all local companies here in the greater Omaha metro area. And as it is Omaha Beer Week, check that out if you have a little extra free time and find out what's going on this week and through this weekend. Also, Extreme Beer Fest is coming up next weekend. Get your tickets.
There's lots of platforms that you can get on and see what events are happening around town. And like we said, next week on the 24th, we will be down at Spirit World in their little back room. And you come tap on the glass. That's fine. Brian said we shouldn't. But
well, I was wondering if we were going to be in the little side room or if we were going to be out like where people could.
Do you hear these microphones? They pick up a lot of noise. Yeah. So I was like, hey, can we use the back room and shut the door? And they're like, absolutely.
Now, that's that little conference table area where that's behind the
right next to the beer
and the really expensive whiskeys.
Yeah. Can we just grab one of those off? No.
Yeah, just sample one of these. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. My name's Brian.
I'm Britt.
And we have been talking on tuning out. Join us next week.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. And maybe we'll see you at Extreme Beer Fest.
Or Spirit World.
One of the two.
Yeah.
All right.
For all your spirit needs.
Yes. Have a good night.
Good night.